Welcome to my YouTube channel, Ali Clive Accounting. Today we are going to be looking at the question paper that was written September 2020 in the KwaZulu-Natal. Okay, we are basically going to be focusing, remember what I said, we'll be focusing on paper 1 questions. Okay, so we'll look at question number 1, question number 2, and so forth. All the questions that I see that you need to know how they are supposed to be tackled, what are the easiest methods, how well can you actually tackle them so that you can be able to get the maximum marks when you're attempting such questions. Okay, before we go to the question paper, I would like to remind you once again, do not forget to like the channel, do not forget to hit the notification button, also to subscribe, and if you have got any comment, please leave your comment on the comment section. Thank you. Okay, this is grade 12 accounting preparatory examination September 2020 paper 1. Okay, that is the question paper that we are going to be looking at. And then the requirement of the first question. Okay, this is the information that we'll be using. We are being required to open the ordinary share capital note and also to do the cash flow statement. So this is the information that we are going to use to do our question. Okay, already prepared a simple template on how we are supposed to start with the ordinary share capital note. Okay, all right, so here ordinary share capital, authorized share capital, they are saying that there are 2 million ordinary shares. And then now we need to look at the information that is given on C. What is it saying about all the shares that are there? Okay, the authorized share capital is 2 million ordinary shares. Okay, I've already indicated that. And then they said on the 30th of June 2019, 1.2 million ordinary shares had been in issue. Okay, this is what I've also indicated, 1.2 million shares in issue at the beginning, but the amount is not given. Why did I write it like this? Because this is some of the information that is already contained in your answer book. Okay, they've given us the number of shares, but they did not give us the amount. We can go back to the question paper. We can see from extract B, information from the balance sheet, there is ordinary share capital 2019 4.2 million. So in other words, it means this 1.2 million shares in issue at the beginning of the year were valued at 4,200,000. Okay, after that, what else happened after the 1.2 million? On the 1st of January 2020, 40,000 shares were repurchased at 4.10. Okay, so there was a repurchase that took place on the 1st. So we indicate how many shares? 40,000 shares. Remember, a repurchase decreases our issued share capital. Okay, so 40,000 shares were repurchased. Okay, and remember what I said in the previous question. When we are looking at the repurchase of shares, shares are repurchased at the average share price or the average issue price. Okay, so before we record the amount at which the shares were purchased, we need to calculate the average issue price. What do we use? We use the amount that is available for the ordinary share the issued share capital, and then we divide by the number of the shares. Okay, so in the question that we are having, we have got 4.2 million shares, and we've got 1,200,000, 4,200,000 rands, and we've got 1.2 million shares. So we say 4.2 million divided by 1. These are rands, 1.2 million shares. This will give us the average issue price. So when you divide, you get something like 3 rand 50. Okay, this one becomes our average share price, 3 rand 50. So when you get your average share price, it is the one that you use on the repurchase part there. So you indicate shares repurchased at 3 rand 50 each. Okay, at 3 rand 50 each. So 3 rand 50 times 40,000, which will give us something like 140,000. 140,000. Remember what I said about the repurchase? It decreases our issued share capital. Okay, let's move on again. Let's go back to C. what happened after the repurchase on the 1st of January 2020. Okay, we have already taken care of that. And they said these shares do not qualify for the final dividends. So we have to remember that when we are doing the calculation for the final dividends. On the 30th of June 2020, all shares that were unissued as at 30 June 2019 were issued. So if we're having 2 million shares that were authorized and then 1.2 million were issued, how many shares were unissued? It's simply a matter of saying 2 million minus 1.2 million. You would find out that there are 800,000 unissued shares which were issued. Okay, so the 800,000 shares issued we do not know the amount at which they were issued. Okay, fine. And then we'll calculate that one. Okay, now at the end, let's find out, is there anything else that happened again on the shares? Okay, there is nothing else. This is all the information anyway, so we can safely find out how many shares were at the end, and then we can also be able to calculate the amount. So if we've got 1.2 million here, and then we minus 40,000, and then we add the 800,000, I'm sure we will remain with 1,960,000 shares at the end. The most nice thing about this question is that we are also given the amount at the end. We go back to B. The ordinary share capital at the end is 7,644,000. Okay, so the missing amount is this one here. Of course, we are simply going to calculate it by adding back and subtracting some of the items that are already given. So we are going to take the 7,644,000, and then we are going to subtract the 4.2 million, and then we add the 140,000. It will leave us with something like 3,584,000. 3,508,000. Okay, so this is the amount for our 800,000 shares that were issued on the first. They were issued on the 1st of January, on the 30th of June 2020. Okay, so this is the amount. How did we get this amount? We looked at the balance at the end, we minus the balance at the beginning, and then we added back the repurchase. It will give us 3,584,000. Okay, all right. So shares issued at what price per share? That one we can safely calculate. We simply take this amount, the 3,584,000, we divide by 800,000. We are going to get something like 4 Rand 48. 4 Rand 48. So that was the price for each share. The 800,000 shares that were issued on the 1st of January 2020. So after doing this, you'll be done with your question. Everything is given there. Everything is correct. Like what I always say, you'll be home and dry. Thank you.